Hey YouTube, it's Gavel and Ord here with the room tour part 2. So hopefully you've seen part 1. If not, feel free to go check it out. You certainly don't have to, but without further introduction, let's go ahead and get started. To kick it off, let's start with the Hot Toys DX07 Luke Skywalker Bespin outfit. So you can see there's two different figures that come with that DX07. There's a clean version, and then there's a Bespin battle version. They do make a weather vane that you can hang this guy on to kind of reenact that series, or that scene from the movie. And the sculpt on these are some of the best that Hot Toys have done. The eyes are fully posable, and yeah, just so some of the best figures that I own in terms of Hot Toys are these DX07 figures. So great Luke Skywalker. And then moving down, we have the Force Awakens Han Solo and Chewbacca. So I think I said earlier I'm a bit of an original trilogy snob, and I do make exceptions from time to time, and I had to on this one simply because the Harrison Ford sculpt was unbelievable, and when I got him in hand, I was absolutely right. Of all the figures that I own, this has got to be the most realistic. I don't know how they did it or how they do it in such a small scale, but blows my mind. And then Chewbacca looks great too. I have him in a windswept pose, like they're on the planet, both bundled up, ready for battle. And he looks great. Alright, moving down. We've got the Terminator. I believe Terminator 2 figure. I don't remember the MMS model on this, but this is a Hot Toys Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator. And I bought the bike separately to go with him. And he is just great. Like I said in the earlier video, that I'm a bit of an Arnold fan, so I had to get this one. Then on the very bottom shelf here, we have another Arnold. This one from Terminator 2 as well. You can kind of see he's all battle damaged. His knees all gory and bloody. It does come with an alternate head sculpt that I have on the side there. And then this is the T600 from Terminator Salvation, actually. The Martin Liang exclusive version. And these are fantastic as well. Very quickly, I wanted to show you my NECA knife head from Pacific Rim. This is the large scale figure I made a while ago, and he's just a bit of a beast. Alright, and let's move here to the cabinet on the left. So I also mentioned I'm a bit of an Aliens fan, and NECA does Aliens, and that's what this collection comes from. They have a ton of Alien figures. The Ripley on Power Loader, gotta be one of my favorite NECA pieces. And of course the Alien Queen. And just look at her, she's just all slick and gross. And we've got the eggs. We have some additional aliens off there to the left. We've got Bishop, who's been ripped in two. Poor guy. And we have some of the Marines. We have a likeness of the late Bill Paxton, which again, very sad. And we have some. We have the Ripley with Newt. And then we have the gory, battle damaged aliens getting splatted. Again, sorry about the darkness here. I don't have any lighting in this cabinet, so. Vasquez. And some more Marines. We have a Predator from AVP. And then moving down here further. I know I'm in the minority, but I loved Prometheus. I thought it was great. Again, the sequel, so to speak, is coming out, Alien Covenant. And these figures are from that line, from Prometheus. You have the engineers. And these were really nice. They never completed the line because it wasn't selling very well, but then we have the 1979 Aliens figures. We have Ripley from there and some of the other characters. And then being a Predator fan as well, again, love Arnold. We have the NECA figures, so you have different versions of Dutch here. And that's Dutch, thermographic Dutch, the way Predator sees him. And we have Dutch all mudded out, and then we have a nice little reenaction of Dutch killing, or about to kill, the Predator. We have a couple of the dog creatures from Predators. We've got Elder Predator, City Hunter, and then the bone trophy wall from Predator 2. And then I also enjoy collecting Pacific Rim. There's a new Pacific Rim coming out with John Boyega. I probably will be getting rid of these figures just because I need the space for some additional figures that I want to get. But these are really nice. NECA did a great job with these. Next up, I've got the Merc with a Mouth Deadpool. Goofing off with Wolverine. I love this pose. This is a great figure. And of course, yeah, Wolverine does not look happy. You can kind of see the leather work is really nice. Yeah, this is a figure with attitude for sure. Then moving down, we've got the Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides Jack Sparrow. And I added a few little accessories with him, some treasure chests. This is the exclusive version. And probably one of the top 3 head sculpts I've got in my collection. They nailed it on this one. Just nailed it. And just, I mean, look at the clothing and the details in terms of the accessories and the knitting and the buttons. And I believe I mentioned I was a bit of a G.I. Joe fan as a child, so I do have some 1/6 scale figures from the G.I. Joe line from Sideshow. Of course, Destro, Cobra Commander, and Baroness. They're a little bit more cartoony. Their head sculpts aren't quite as realistic. But nevertheless, they really look nice together. And then on the bottom shelf, we've got Scar Predator there on the left and Classic Predator on the right, both from Hot Toys. You have die-cast blades, really nicely well sculpted bone there. And then next we have the only what they would call kit bash that I own. That just means like when I pieced together bodies and heads and parts and pieces to come up with this scene. This is obviously Tony Stark, Iron Man, but this panel, or what do you want to call it, his computer here on the left, was something that I bought from a Chinese manufacturer. I've never seen it in stores, even on websites for US-based retailers. And it is super cool. It's this Stark Industries right there. It's all fed with LEDs that go into the polished sides of the polycarbonate. And then we've just got all this etched right there to make it look like it's a holographic panel. And then of course we have Tony Stark at the helm. And then we have the accessory kit that you can purchase from Hot Toys as well. But I really love this particular scene right here. Just needs a background or something. And then moving down, we got some more Iron Man things. This is the Iron Man Mark 1 from Iron Man 2. It's the big, bulky, chunky die-cast version they recently came out with. And yeah, I mean, this thing is heavy. And again, super articulate. Definitely my second favorite Iron Man armor. And then we have got Whiplash Mark II from the same movie. And again, great detailing on the armor in terms of the battle damage. Just look at the welds. Yeah, this figure did not sell very well. I think it's still in stock and it's been out for several years. But I really like it. Then we come down here, we've got the Iron Man Mark III and the Iron Patriot. We have the Tony Stark head sculpt right there. Looks really good, kind of creepy. And then finally on the bottom shelf we have Elder Predator and City Hunter. Both from Hot Toys. Then on the top of the shelf we have something you may not have heard of. This is called Court of the Dead. It is from Sideshow Collectibles. It is an original intellectual property that they created. They've again created a mythology behind these characters and have an entire statue line dedicated to this. So the backstory essentially is that there's a war between heaven and hell. And the souls that die go to the underworld where death takes them and shows them the reality of the situation, which is that heaven and hell only want to harvest your souls to fuel their war and have no interest in you. So death has created a court to ultimately create an army to defend the underworld from heaven and hell. It's an interesting mythology. But these, and what drew me to them was the detail in the sculpting. I mean, each one of these characters has a story and a position in the court. But, I mean, I have never seen anything like this. I mean, original, highly creative. And beautiful. I have, there's 3 more statues I intend to get on this collection for a total of 6. And again, they're just beautiful. Alright, moving down. We have just a kind of a mix mash here. We've got a couple of Hot Toys Hulks. We have my original 1980s Predaking Transformer there to the left. But I have plans for these guys. Right now they're kind of off in front of the window. I have Hulkbuster, the Hot Toys Hulkbuster coming in. It's going to be massive. It's going to go really well with this guy. And again, just they did a great job with the head sculpt, and the muscle definition looks really, really good. And here to the right, this is from Titanfall, which is a game that I never owned and never played in my life. What sold me on this figure was its detail and articulation, and the fact that this figure that it comes with, which is the pilot for the machine, for this robot, is just as detailed and articulate. I've never seen anything like this before. Even the StarCraft figures that I own, they're not like this. I mean, the weathering that's been done and the attention to detail. 3A is the manufacturer, the one who made this. And the things that this can do, I mean, you can open up bits and pieces. It's got light up features. It's really, really nice, and it's just huge. All right, then moving down, we have the Hasbro Millennium Falcon, the big Millennium Falcon, or BMF as some people call it. Maybe you're familiar with it. It's not the Power of the Force one. It's definitely the ultimate Millennium Falcon. They made a vintage collection version of this as well. It's the same thing, essentially, from what I've been told. And then down on the bottom, we just have a few box figures that I have. We have the Battle Pack, the Wampa Battle Pack, and then the Tatooine skiff from the Power of the Force. And then moving on to my Batman collection, or some of it. And that is we've got the Christian Bale Batman bust from Sideshow Collectibles. We have a Joker and Harley Quinn statue. I forgot who sculpted that. I got it for free for some promotion or something like that, but it's really nice. And then we've got the Hot Toys 1/4 scale Christian Bale, the Dark Knight figure, and again they just nailed the sculpt on this one too. Oops, right, it's a little out of focus. There we go. And you can see he's got Bane's face plate, Scarecrow's hood, and the Joker's mask. So they did a great job of kind of combining all three villains into this one figure. But he looks really good with the masked version of the bust. So really happy with that. And then down here into the next shelf, we've got the Batman Armory with Alfred and Bruce Wayne. You can kind of see he's starting to suit up there. And this is another kind of underrated set. Either they made too many of them, or people just weren't interested, but it's so cool. It does have light up features. The batteries are burnt out, but each one of these little kibbles in the back comes out. Each one of these is an individually sculpted item. Every little bullet, every little arrow. That's the kind of attention to detail that the Hot Toys likes to put into their figures. And then we've got the Batfleck Batman from Batman vs. Superman, which was an okay movie, but the Hot Toys figure is amazing. And then down here, my favorite Joker of all time, which is Jack Nicholson's Joker rendition from the 1989 Batman movie. And they killed this sculpt too. I mean, just the eyes, it's just creepy. And this is the Batman 2, Michael Keaton Batman. And then on the top of the shelf here to the left, we've got the Bat, the 1/12 scale with the Bat from Hot Toys, which they just knocked out of the park. It's got a 1/12 scale Batman there in the middle. And this thing is dusty black. It's just really exaggerated the dust. And then hiding here underneath is you've got Catwoman on Batpod. It's the Mafex Batpod. And he does have some little features. I'm going to show that real quick. So it's got a light up, which is really cool. And then the blades do turn as well. Again, very cool. And because one can never have too much Hulk in their life, this is the King Hulk figure from Sideshow's Collectibles from a few years back, or a couple years back. From the King Hulk series, or World War Hulk series. Again, I created a custom background for him to show off his awesomeness. This thing is the beast of all beasts. This is the biggest, heaviest thing I've got in my collection, and he is just bad to the bone. Big, huge, meaty hands, nice leather work, this big battle axe. It's been battle damaged, a great base. It's concrete base. Just love it. Alright, moving down then is another beloved childhood franchise of mine, and that's Masters of the Universe. So I wanted some representation in my collection from that era, and this is what I have decided on. So these are the 1/5 scale Sideshow Collectibles, He-Man and Skeletor. And again, they did a great job with these two. Skeletor looks really cool. The muscle detailing and nice interpretations from the cartoon from the 80s. These are both the exclusive versions with switch out arms for He-Man and the switch out face for Skeletor. And on the bottom shelf, we've got some of the newer Transformer representation, the Bayformers as they call them, Megatron and Optimus, and these are both from the Dark of the Moon, I believe. And these are from 3A as well, the same manufacturer who made the Titanfall Atlas that I showed you. They do not transform, which is a bit of a, I don't want to say a conundrum for those people who think that Transformers should transform. But these are simply the best representations that you can make in robot form, and that's what they were striving for, and that's really what they did. I mean, the paint applications on these figures and the sculpts are way beyond anything I could have possibly have expected, and they're fully articulate and posable. They do make statues like that represent these same visages, but I really like action figures because I can pose with them and mess with them. Those statues are cool from time to time. And moving off to the left, here on the side we've got the 1/12 scale TIE Fighter from The Force Awakens. It's that big massive thing. Let me back up here a little bit. And it is beautiful. Then we have some swords here. This is the Witch King sword and Enduro from Lord of the Rings. And then a couple of Kit Ray swords that I collected earlier on in my collecting. And the final wall is probably one you're familiar with if you've been watching this channel, and that's my Star Wars diorama wall. So I'm not going to hit this one too heavy just because this is the focus of my channel. But I did want to show it for anybody who wasn't familiar with it. It is unfinished. As you can kind of see, there's a lot of stuff here. If you are familiar with the channel and you haven't seen this background yet, this is something I recently purchased and ordered. And then, of course, being a vehicle whore like I am, got vehicles at the top. And that's it. That's my entire room collection as of today. So we'll do one last final sweep so you can kind of see how it all fits together. Thanks so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun collecting this stuff. It's certainly a love-hate relationship sometimes. But this is such a fun room to be in. It's my dream room. And I'm very happy that I've been blessed enough to be able to collect this stuff and enjoy it. So again, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have another diorama video up here at some point, but until then, take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right, bye now.